Hey everybody, happy Sunday. We're live, I think. I hope. Let me see here. Wait, let me just get the chats up so I can see the comments. Yeah, we're live. Looks like we're live. All right, guys. Hey, welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. Looks like you guys are in a mood to talk about gear since you're here, which is always great to see. I'm super stoked. Sunday is my favorite day of the week. And as you guys know, today is Father's Day. So I want to wish all you fathers out there the best, lots of love. If you guys are not fathers yet, hopefully you're looking forward to being one day. Give your father a big hug, a big kiss. Tell him you love him. That's super important on Father's Day. This is the first Father's Day without my dad, so it's a bittersweet time. I miss him, but definitely I have him in my heart. So it's super important. Make sure you spoil all your dads today. If that's the only thing that you accomplish today, make sure you spoil your dads. So thank you all for being here. I hope I could. You guys see me okay. I hope you guys hear me okay. I think it's super great to be here because it's show 118, guys. 118 shows in, and we're still going strong. So it looks like we're slowly picking up momentum. You know, so there's certain weekends where we have more people in the house. Other weekends it's a little bit quieter. I mean, today is Father's Day, so I figured a lot of you guys maybe are taking your fathers out for brunch, spoiling them, whatever it may be. But according to the statistics, it seems to me that we're getting more and more tractions with these shows. So it's super. I'm super happy to see that. So for those of you that are here for the first time and or going to be joining us later on, usually people trickle in at around 11 o'clock or so. Welcome to the show. The show is all about gear addiction, basically, and guitars and amps and everything like that. All the great stuff that we love to play with. So I want to welcome you guys to the show. If you guys are not familiar with the channel, just check out my videos. You'll see a whole bunch of reviews there of all kinds of different gear and all kinds of stuff there. And more importantly, make sure you subscribe because otherwise you won't know what I'm posting and you'll miss out on all the great video reviews as well as the live chats that we do here. We try and hit every Sunday 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have a couple of free minutes while you're drinking your coffee in the morning, tune in on Sunday. It's always a great way to start the weekend. So how's everybody doing today? I want to say hi to the guys that are already here. And just scroll through the comments. I think you guys had posted a couple of comments while you were waiting for the show to start. So let's jump right in. House of Twang says Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. Jean says, hey Tony, my friend just gave me 2,000 guitars. A large coffee table photo book with a visual guide to the most lusted after instruments. The guitar, I wear a bib so I don't drool over the pictures. That's a pretty nice gift. At the beginning there, I thought somebody just gave you 2,000 guitars. I was going to say, wow, where are you going to put all those things? I hope you have a big shed. I love those books. I love those kind of books. They're really nice coffee table books. I have one too around here somewhere. I think I showed it to you a couple of sessions back. You just scroll through, look at those beautiful guitars, all the different styles, the vintage ones and everything. And I agree. You kind of do drool over those images and wish that you had every one of those guitars. That's a super nice gift. I think you're going to enjoy that from time to time, just flipping through the pages. Hey Jack, nice to see you. Happy Father's Day to you too. Randy's here as well. Hey Randy. Randy says much love from Southern Illinois. I think I'll jam tonight. Awesome. That's the way to do it, Randy. The Eagle and Pony Show. Hey, nice to see you. Keith, how's it going, dude? Keith says, hey, all the numbers to beat today is 5. Yes, we had 5 kids, and you can't count your guitar as kids. Wow, man, you got your hands full there, Keith. Where do you even find time to play guitar? That's pretty crazy. Uh, but I think somebody has you beat, Keith. When we had our guest Brian Porter from Porter Pickups on one of the videos that we posted, I think it was like the week before last. He has 6 kids. Imagine that. Another family reunion is about to begin. Yes, indeed, Paul. Nice to see you here. We have 2 Pauls. So we have Paul McCanry also here today. Good to see you. Wayne, Gospel of Mark says, what's up? Happy Father's Day. Mark says he hasn't seen his kids since Thursday. And he's going to try to pop in to catch some chat, man. Mark is definitely a hard worker. But he does squeeze in time for some gear. He says he got a Dunlop 105Q bass wah. Going to use it with the guitar. That's interesting. Those Dunlop wah pedals are great. It really helps you improvise on the solos, I feel. Just gives a more natural voice to the guitar when you use a wall like that. All right. Rich is here as well. Nice to see you, Rich. It's me, Don P. Randy. Wayne says, pissing rain out. Looks like it's coffee and weed and playing guitar all day. Then whatever I want for dinner. Life can really be good. That's the way to take it. Take it easy, Wayne. Life's too short. Don't sweat it. Hey, Fat Philosopher, good evening to you. How you doing, buddy? House of Twang, Cool Tunes Made Easy. Christian is here. Hey, Christian, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. All right. Gene says, I'm the internet's most ineligible bachelor. Gene, come on. You gotta pump up your self-esteem there. Anyone got a new guitar for Father's Day? So Rich wants to know. Fat Philosopher says, no new gear for me. Gene says it sounds good. Presley's here. Hey, Presley, how's it going, dude? Hey, Presley, just so you know, I wanted to get your permission to share some of your pictures, some of the photos you sent, if you don't mind. I would love to show some of the guys here some of your projects. If you give me the okay on that, then I'll share it later on. How's that? Always want to ask permission. For those of you who don't know, a lot of you guys share pictures, photos, projects, ask questions behind the scenes after the shows. You send me some messages by email or whatever, text or whatever. And I always welcome you guys to do that. You know, I always like to see what kind of projects you guys are working on, what kind of challenges you have. And I do the same. I share my projects on the channel as well. Whenever I do a build or something like that, I try to share that just so that we can share tips, tricks, ideas, inspiration, that kind of thing. And sometimes also when you run into a problem, it's great to ask for advice. So Presley sent over a bunch of photos showing me some of his projects that he's done, and a few of the others here as well. But you know, I don't mind sharing them if I have permission. If I don't have permission, obviously I won't share anything on the show. So I'm asking permission. All right. Who else is here? Neil. Nice to see you, Neil. Rico. Sunny Arizona. Mike. Nice to see you, buddy. Paul says, according to Guinness Book of Records, Addicted to Gear won most troublemakers in one space. Well, I'll wear that badge with honor if that's the case. I don't mind being a troublemaker. You got to make life spicy. All right. Gospel of Mark says, thinking about you today, Tony. Nice. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, dude. Fat Philosopher says, I was born on Father's Day back in the day. Hey, nice. So happy birthday. How old, Fat Philosopher, if you don't mind sharing? Some people are sensitive about sharing their age. We're all a family here. If you don't mind. Octopus here says, love my dad more than anything. Happy Father's Day to all the great dads out there. Warms my heart. Steve, how you doing, buddy? Who's calling me in the middle of a show? Well, that's going to have to go to voicemail. Steve, happy birthday, Fat Philosopher. Yes, indeed. Let's all wish Fat Philosopher a happy birthday. I'm glad he's spending. Oh, Fat Philosopher said it was on the 15th, not today. All right, all right. Gene. Gene says, cool Telecaster, Tony. Yeah, Gene, this Telecaster, I might as well talk about it. This Telecaster, it was one of my builds. It's one of my favorite Telecasters, and it's funny that I put it together. I didn't actually buy this off the shelf, but I did make it with Fender parts. I did a review on this guitar, I think about 5 years ago. I talked about this guitar. It's back in my archive if you're interested. I love this guitar. The neck plays wonderfully. The pickups sound great. It's a great guitar. As you can see, I'm using a wireless system today, just because less wires. Yeah, the guitar is really great. Has locking tuners on it. Beautiful rosewood fretboard on it. It's got Tone Rider Vintage Plus pickups, which I like. I kept them in there. Beautiful compensated brass saddles. It's a great Telecaster. It really is. There's nothing I don't like about it. And I use it all the time. Actually, I don't use it enough. And actually, when I was using it today, I realized I got to change the strings. The strings on this guitar have been on it for quite a while. They're starting to get a little bit dead. But I love it. All right. All right. Presley says, addicted to gear, 942s or 1046. That's the question on a Strat or a Telecaster. I usually go with 9s. 942s is what I usually aim for. I find 10s just a little bit too heavy. Sometimes I've even tried the 8.5s. They seem to be interesting as well, but the 9s work well. I find the 10s make me struggle a bit on the bending. The 9s are more comfortable overall. That's my personal preference. I don't know about you guys. Maybe we can see what the other boys think about that. All right. Cushman, sorry I'm late. No worries, Cushman. Glad to see you here. All right. I think I'm just going to scroll. Dan of New Jersey. Nice to see you, buddy. So Octopus here says he puts 10s on everything. Besides the 11s I used to on acoustic. I think on acoustic I try and aim for 10s. I usually go for 9s on electric. I used to go crazy and put like super heavy strings on my guitar. I think 11s. I think at one point I even tried 12s. And no, it was too much. Too much for me. I went back to 9s. I kind of tried all of them. 8.5s, 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s. The only ones I haven't actually tried yet, I do have a set of these Billy Gibbons strings. I think they're 7s. And I haven't had the courage to put them on any of my guitars yet. But I'm curious to see how they feel. They might just feel too slinky for me. But I'm going to put them on a guitar just to check. I might even put it on this guitar and see how it goes. Curious. Anybody try 7s here? All right. Let's just scroll. Anyone see the video game app where you pretend to be a virtual luthier? No, I didn't see that. That's pretty cool. Where did you see that, Fat Philosopher? That's unique. I'd love to check that out. Give us the name if you have it. Hey, Landon, nice to see you, buddy. Landon says, hey, just grabbed the coffee, tuned in. I've got a super special Telecaster on the way, hopefully next week. Pre-ordered the Harrison Telecaster in February and is shipped. That's a nice guitar, Landon. I'll be very interested in seeing that. I've always been curious about those Telecasters. I'm wondering how much they weigh. Do you know if they're weight relieved or not? Just curious. And I wonder what the tonality of the guitar is going to end up being. Super nice looking guitar, by the way, so congratulations. That's really great. All right, I got permission from Presley, California Customs to go for it, so we'll definitely look at some of those images in a couple of minutes. Let me just finish saying hi to everybody here. Jack is spending my Father's Day restringing guitars. There's no other way. There's no other thing I'd rather be doing than working on guitars, honestly. You know, when the house is quiet, I just go to my bench, take my guitars out. There's always one or two guitars that need to be adjusted. Lately, a lot of the guitars on the rack behind me have gotten the neck relief has changed substantially, I guess, because of the humidity or whatnot. So I had to kind of adjust everything over, retune. You know, you got to do that every once in a while. But I do the round robin. I got like honestly, I don't know how many guitars in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 15 guitars, counting this one, 16. And I have another 2 in the case. That's 18 guitars in this room alone that need love and attention. And there's others as well that I take out from time to time. So there's a lot of guitars to keep me busy, and I love doing it. It's great. It's just, to me, it's like therapy. I just put some music on, go onto the bench, look at the guitars, see what's wrong, what needs to be adjusted, work on them. When they play like butter, I feel so much satisfaction. So I don't know if others of you here do the same kind of thing, but I'm telling you, it's better than therapy for me. Gene says Rosewood Telecasters are awesome. I agree. Yes, indeed. Fat Philosopher says Landon, the dude who posts Epiphones for Fender Friday. I didn't know that. That's close enough. Epiphone. There's got to be an F in there somewhere. The Eagle and Pony Show. I'm going to jam in the studio today. I got a Gibson Corvette. Awesome. Great, man. I'm not jamming today, unfortunately, but next Sunday is the day, so I'm looking forward to it. Octopus here says, thoughts on the Heritage guitars? Ever played one? I didn't have the opportunity to play the Heritage guitars. I like them. They look really nice. I'd love to be able to get one in my hands eventually to do a review, but I haven't come across one or had the ability to get my hands on one yet. Anybody else here have tried the Heritage guitars? If you have, pipe in, because we'd like to share this information. Octopus Ears wants to know, and this is the show where we dig deep to get all the answers. All right. Yeah, Rosewood Telecasters do look heavy, but I don't know if they're chambered. I guess Landon's gonna fill us in on that once he does his review on it. I think I'm not like I don't have all the details on that particular guitar, but I would assume that they would perhaps chamber it, but I could be wrong. Russell says I'm spending Father's Day waiting for someone to wish me a happy Father's Day other than strangers on the internet. That's a lie. Nobody's gonna call. Come on, Russell. Dude, they're going to call. Don't worry. I guarantee you they're not going to forget. All right, all right. Long story, more to come. Saving to tell on the road. What? Sorry, Russell says, long story, more to come. Saving it to tell on the road in 2023 when I ride the Trans-America Trail. All right. I'm curious to hear the story. All right, all right. So let me scroll down. I'm really behind on the chats here. Let me just scroll all the way down, all the way down. I'm gonna just work my way back up this time, because otherwise you guys are having conversations without me, and I lose track. All right, let me just try and catch the wave of comments here a little bit. If I skip your comment or question, just ask it again. Unfortunately, I'm jumping around. All right. Rico says he tried the Billy G7s. The string's so thin, it's like having a scalloped fretboard. That's kind of what I expected to hear. It's almost like the strings kind of bounce around between the frets. That's what I would assume. I'm thinking it's gonna be an interesting experiment for sure. Landon says it is weight relieved, so hopefully a nice weight. They only made 1,000 for 2022 run. Hard to find. A local shop here called Lausanne only got one, and I grabbed it right away. We have a couple of shops called Lausanne here in Montreal too, Landon. I didn't know they had them in Toronto. I believe you're in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, right? I didn't know they had them, but sometimes they are able to get them, which is cool. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a keeper or not. Looks like a nice guitar anyways. I had some gas on that guitar a while back, and then it kind of passed for, I don't know why, but I'd love to see that guitar. Sounds like it's going to be nice. All right, we have CFG cable-free guitars in the house, and we happen to have a CFG wireless system right here. That's not a coincidence, guys. This wasn't a setup. I honestly, I didn't know the guys from CFG were going to be here today. But I might as well talk about it since I have it on my guitar and they're here. The CFG system, the wireless system here, is what I'm using today going between the guitar and my Ampero. And the reason for that is because I don't need more cables. So it sounds great and clean. I'm in front of my computer here. I got the Ampero. I got my mixer. There's a whole bunch of electronic devices around me. And as you can hear, pretty quiet. You can probably hear my dog snore. No noise. And it's live. So the cool thing, I like the wireless systems. I have to say they're pretty handy, especially around here in the house. I got these wireless devices already charged up, and I haven't had to charge them up yet. Hopefully they won't die during the show. Pretty simple. Basically, you just turn them on, you pair them, and they work. These are 2.4 gigahertz. And if you guys have questions about these systems, now's the time to ask, because CFG's in the house. I like them. I've been using them. I'm going to do a full review on them. A lot of you think that being 2.4 gigahertz as opposed to the higher frequencies is not as good. That's not necessarily true. From my experience, sometimes you might have a little bit more range with the higher frequency, but in a rehearsal space, you don't always need that much, And I've been liking them. They're not super expensive. So far, they've been working great. They seem to be really solid, and they fit nicely in my Telecaster. You can bend them. They have a little bit of a neck there, so you can put them into a Strat. You can put them into an Ibanez guitar. They have a little rubber pad here, so they won't necessarily scratch your guitar, and you're ready to rock them, and they sound great. So maybe some of you have already tried these CFG the cable-free guitar transmitters. If not, check them out. I think they're fantastic. Surferby says, I had a Moon wireless system, only lasted 3 months. It was fine, but disappointed. So what happened? Is it because the batteries died on them? Did they break? Did they just stop working on you? What scenario happened there? I don't know. I mean, sometimes you get a dud, but usually, I'm super happy when I don't hear noise. And when I'm playing in a live situation with a band or rehearsals, I like the freedom of being able to walk around. Cables are great, but they're restrictive. Obviously, sometimes using a long cable, you do get a little bit less of the highs coming through the signal. I find that the wireless system doesn't really do that. You charge them and you're ready to go. So I think they're a good, inexpensive alternative to cables. All right. Alan says, I have the 1986 Heritage H140, but it's the only Heritage I've played. 1986 was the first full year for Heritage, and for 85 and most of 86, the H140 was their only model. So there's some information for you. Surfer By wants to know what telecaster that is. I talked about it at the beginning of the show. This is a somewhat of a semi-custom build. It's a build I put together with Fender parts. Well, mostly Fender parts, Fender body and some other stuff. But I did some modifications. I put in a really nice compensated brass saddle bridge here with the edge of the saddle piece here cut away, so it's more comfortable. I don't know if you can see that. See, this is longer but cut out, and this is shorter and cut out, so you can put your hands when you're doing palm muting and stuff like that. Everything else is kind of standard Telecaster, except the locking tuners that I put on there. I wanted a set of locking tuners, so I put those on. I tinted the neck myself. I lacquered the neck myself. It's a great guitar. One of my favorites. As I mentioned, I put Tone Rider vintage pickups in here, and I love it. It's still one of my favorite guitars. It looks a lot like the, it turns out to look a lot like the Jimmy Page model. I didn't set out for that. I just like the colors and features, and I built it around what I like. Just so happens that Jimmy Page has the same taste in guitars as I do. So what can I say? All right, all right. The Eagle and Pony Show. Who are you jamming with next Sunday? I'm jamming with the boys, my band. We're rehearsing again, rehearsing regularly. During, the summer months, rehearsing gets a little bit iffy because everybody's busy. Everybody's doing their own thing, so you don't always have the ability to mesh up the schedules. So sometimes somebody's away on vacation or something like that. So it kind of becomes a little bit of a mishmash during the summer period, but we try and be as consistent as we can. So next Sunday's the day. Brico says, Tony, how long does it take before they time out or rest? Battery use in time, good. Well, Rico, I just got these, so they haven't actually died on me yet. I received them charged, and I've been using them, and they haven't died yet. So maybe CFG could answer that question if they're still in the house, or I can look in the manual and tell you. I don't know. They haven't died on me yet. Let's see if they mention that. They should. Okay. Do they mention it? I don't think they even mention it here. Or maybe they do. I'm just trying to read real quick here. They do mention something here about charging the battery. They say that due to one of the characteristics of lithium batteries, there is a slight self-discharge. Therefore, please charge the battery after 2 months as to avoid low battery protection. So I think what they mean is if you're not using the battery for a period of 2 months or so, you should technically charge them once in a while. But they don't really mention, I can't see it here. So maybe CFG could answer that question for us. That's a good question. Everybody wants to know how long they last, right? All right, I have some guitars that are worth like over 2,000. This is Russell saying this. Now that I paid around 5 bills for, but I'll never let them go because I love them and I know I won't be able to replace them. Yeah, you know what I mean, Russell. You're definitely right about that. I've seen prices go up and up and up, and there's some great guitars. And yeah, if you got them for a steal and you seen the price going up, and you shouldn't get rid of them. I have some guitars like that too. I'm just gonna hang on to them. I love the guitars I have right now. There's only maybe 1 or 2 that would be, let's say, bottom of the totem pole for me that I would be willing to get rid of if I needed to. But other than that, I think that most of the guitars I like playing them, and I wouldn't get rid of them. And this is one of them. I mean, if I get rid of this guitar, I built this myself, and I built it to what I wanted and set it up the way I wanted. And I'm telling you, it wouldn't be easy for me to find a guitar off the shelf that would play like this one. It just fits me perfectly because I put it together the way I wanted to. All right, all right. Let's see. Let's just scroll on down. Jack Collins is commenting here. Jack says, I had a wireless system, then all of a sudden started squealing like crazy, and I couldn't get it to stop squealing. Interesting. I wonder why that would happen. And Surfer by also said the transmitter stopped working, receiver was fine. I contacted a moon, but no reply. But they sounded great. I guess that's what he was trying to say. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of these wireless systems are delicate. So if you drop them, abuse them, I mean, they're not bulletproof. So you got to be careful. They do use batteries, and eventually batteries do eventually fizzle out. So that could also be. But the squealing, I don't know why. What would be causing them to squeal like that? Gospel of Mark says a shop near me has a 1977 Ibanez Les Paul Custom for a good price. I may go try it tomorrow. The 1977, those are the lawsuit guitars, Mark. Those are nice. They don't pop up very often. From time to time. Go try them out. Just bring a lot of money. Because I have a feeling if you try, you're going to buy it. I like those guitars. Yeah, I like them. All right. I don't know if we got an answer from CFG yet, but I'm scrolling, so I may have missed it. All right. Hamtech Music says, hey, Tony, watching from the Philippines, can you make a review of the Moore Prime P1? I'd love to. I don't have one. Can you send me one? I don't have one. I'll have to look into it. Maybe I can get my hands on it. Russell says, I always wanted to travel and had the whole I was just before retirement thing happened after a rafting trip. But yeah, I can't get too sad because my life is always so much better than a lot of others. All right, I'm missing something there, Russell. I guess I jumped in at the wrong place here, but I'll catch up, I promise. Casey Lee says, anyone know about Brian Moore guitars? Just picked up an IM Korean model for 400 USD with a tweed case, but I'm not sure what I've got here. Plays fantastic. I don't know about the Brian Moore guitars. What is that? I gotta take a look. Brian Moore. I learn something new every day. And which guitar did you say you got there? The IM series? All right. Let me take a look. Interesting looking guitars, for sure. So I guess these are custom guitars. They look pretty interesting, and they look like they might have some interesting features as well. So I definitely would need to look at this in more detail. I haven't tried them. To me, that's an obscure brand, Casey. Unfortunately, I haven't tried that one. There's not a lot of local shops around here that have like obscure brands, unfortunately, and you have to basically try to look, search, dig to try and find distributors for certain brands like that, or you have to order direct, which means that you have to take a chance. But it's interesting to see some of these models. All right, I'm just scrolling some more. Keith says my wireless receiver sets on the amp and has antenna like a rabbit ears from the 90s. Still here somewhere. Yeah, I remember those wireless systems. Those are great for range. I think I have one too, somewhere in a box. They're more elaborate systems, but they technically work pretty much the same way. It's just great that nowadays they've become so small, so you don't have to. They don't have to take up a lot of space. Russell says my wireless system I got from with my Katana Air has been working flawlessly, and I've beat the hell out of both of them so hard the amp itself checked out a couple times. All right, so which wireless system are you referring to, Russell? Just so I know which ones are can take a beating and still keep on ticking. What was take a licking and keep on ticking? That was the Timex slogan, if I remember correctly. Eddie Jr. says, Tony, I got here late. What parts did you use for the Telecaster? Was it a kit? No, Ed, it wasn't a kit. It was actually, these are Fender parts. This is an official OEM, let's say Fender body that I bought online. The neck I bought from the Stratosphere, and I talk about it in the video where I didn't get the neck that I ordered. I had ordered a vintage neck and they sent me this instead, and I was kind of pissed off, but I ended up getting it to work, tinted it myself, and it plays great, feels great. So all's well that ends well. And as I mentioned, it's sort of like it reminds me of the Jimmy Page model because it's kind of the same color, same look, and I love it. And Randy says, I love those Tone Rider pickups. Got a set in my Squire Strat, and they sound bitchin'. Yeah, the vintage set that they're making about $100 for a set or so. I think I don't know if the prices went up recently. That's probably how much I paid it at the time. With these are, if I'm not mistaken, Alnico 5 magnets in here. They kind of changed them a little bit. I think now they're using white string on the bridge pickup. Not that it's going to really change the sound, but they've changed the look a little bit on the pickups. I think they're probably making them even nicer now. I wouldn't hesitate to buy another set of these to put into another Telecaster build if ever I decide to make another Telecaster. I got plenty of Telecasters, but there's always room for one more. Good morning, Mark FX. How are you? Hey, Russell, don't sweat it, dude. Honestly, life's a bitch sometimes, but it's temporary. Think about all the great things because, yeah, there's always somebody in a worse position than you, and usually whatever challenges that come your way are temporary. So you got to just keep reminding yourself that, that it doesn't last. Things like that don't last forever. Nothing's permanent. Unfortunately, it's true for both good and bad things, so it depends on which side of the coin you are currently at, but things tend to get better. So try to think about the good. Cushman wants to know if did I do any fret work on the Telecaster. Yeah, I did. I always tend to do a bit of fret work. I generally do a leveling no matter what, even if the neck is brand new, because their necks are never guaranteed to be perfect. So I usually do a neck fret level, and I usually work on the fret ends. If I see that there's any fret sprout, I usually work on that as well. Thankfully on this guitar, they're really smooth. I think I did a pretty good job on the frets because they feel really good. Bone nut, everything's dialed in the way I like it. So yeah, I usually at least a fret level is what I aim for. Jack says, addicted to gear. I hope they was just some cheap ones because they worked for 2 years finding and all of a sudden went squealing, and I think they're called Mustang. Okay, I see what you mean. So the ones that Jack had, the wireless systems that Jack had that started to squeal were called Mustangs. I got you, Jack. All right, cool. All right. Landon says he's got the same fender body, 60s Olympic white. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. It's a great body. I love him. Flawless. There was no issues at all. No, no dings, no cracks. Paint job on it was perfect. Love it. Rico says I went in for my annual physical corner of his office. My doc had a Tom Anderson Strat with a Keeler. We talked guitars for a while. Was pretty cool. One of my doctors is like that. He's amazing. He's a great doctor, cool guy, loves guitars, has a guitar addiction. I'm surprised he hasn't tuned in yet. I haven't actually told him that I actually have a show on YouTube, but every time I go in, we talk about 45 minutes about guitars and maybe 5 minutes about my health. So thankfully, there's nothing wrong with me so far. Knock on wood. But he's got a really nice collection of classic vintage acoustic guitars, and he aims for the expensive stuff, the old Martins and stuff like that. So I'm a little jealous, um, but yeah, it's fun. It's the only doctor I enjoy going and visit because I know we're going to be talking guitars. Hey Jamel, happy Father's Day. Thank you, buddy. All right, I think it's a good time maybe to jump in and talk about some of the projects you guys have been working on. I'm gonna share some of Presley's work or projects here with you guys, if you don't mind, for a couple of minutes. I think it's always nice to see what other guys are working on. Let me just figure quickly how to do this and just get to my controls here. In the meantime, guys, keep on asking questions and stuff because we'll go back to the questions. All right, so here is, let me just click on this. I'll go through a couple of photos that I was sent by Presley California Customs, and we'll just take a look and see what there is. So here are a couple of guitars that he has worked on, built, and Presley, for those of you who don't know, Presley's been here forever, and he's a cool dude, works on guitars, can build guitars, custom built guitars of any sort. And yeah, he sent me some nice images of some cool guitars. So here I can see the quilt top Strat with the bound, the bound fretboard, which looks really cool because you rarely see that on a Strat. Plus you have the block inlays. So that's pretty unique. And I like the contrast between the dark knobs and pickup covers and the white pickguard, which is pretty nice. Like that. Cool job. I wonder, is this something that you came up with, or was that a request from a customer? Because sometimes customers will ask for, oddball builds and stuff like that. Here's another shot of the workbench and some of the guitars on the wall. Pretty cool. And you can see he's working on a guitar that's on the bench right now. So I don't know if that build is already done or if that's an upcoming build. Give us some play-by-play comments there if you don't mind, so we know what we're looking at, because I don't have too much of the backstory on these. We'll just jump to the next one here. This is a really cool one. Look at the cool pick cover on this guitar, and you see you have the I can tell the gold hardware. Interesting. The blade pickup on the bridge position. That's pretty cool. I wonder which model was that? Do you remember? Then you have the two knobs instead of the three. You can still see the switch there, and the Vigatrem as well, all in gold. Pretty nice. It's amazing how much of a difference just changing out the pick guard and the pick covers, the pickup covers will make on a guitar. This looks like a pretty nice build with the maple neck as well. Is that a standard Strat neck, or is that a custom neck on that one? I'm asking questions. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm not going to get your answer right away, but if you don't mind answering. There's our buddy himself. And you can see a really cool guitar on the wall there. Interesting design. Looks like it's a combination of almost a junior style guitar, but yet you have the 6 on one side tuning pegs, the humbuckers, and then you have the Gibson style bridge. Really interesting. And it's an interesting placement of where you put the switch on that guitar. Most people will put it up here at the top, but you put it down at the bottom. Pretty interesting build. Very nice. There's a lot of creative ideas, you know. That's why I like looking at these kind of things, just to get ideas myself, because I always get ideas, good or bad. Here we can see the wall of fame with a bunch of guitars ready to go out the door. This is a really nice shot. Look at that neck. Look at the flame on that thing. Beautiful. Now, where did you get that neck from? I'm just curious if that's something that you worked on, you built yourself, you bought somewhere. Beautiful flame. You don't usually see that too often. That's like a custom shop style necks. Really cool. I love flame necks like that. Here we can see a close-up shot of the bridge, gold hardware. You can see that you're working on some of the shielding there. So you got the copper tape ready to go, and it's a HSH configuration there. So I'm wondering if that's one of the guitars that ended up on your wall, or if that's another one that you're building right now. Really cool. Another shot of the work area here. And we saw that one already. And we saw that one already. I think, is that it? Do we have any more photos? I don't know. I think we do have a couple more. There we go. This one's cool. Look at the pickguard on this thing. It's got like a nebula kind of pickguard on it. I see a lot of your guitars have gold hardware. Is that because you like the gold, or is that just stuff that the customers request? Because a lot of people like the gold, but a lot of people, I find that the gold tends to brush off a lot easier than the chrome. But I like the pickguard. That's a cool, very unique pickguard there. And here's more of a standard kind of looking Strat here, but it's been plecked. I like the way you can see through the paint a little bit there. And for those of you who don't know, Presley California Customs also does pleck work. So if you want to get your guitar plecked, you can reach out to him. And look at that cool little decal. Presley California Customs. Nice. That's kind of like the same decal they had on the Japanese Strats back in the day. I don't know if you have one, but you'll notice if you do. Really nice collection, really nice projects here. I see in the background there you do have a Strat with one humbucker and one, I guess, volume knob. Kind of more like the Eddie Van Halen kind of style. Really cool as well. Nice. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you sharing these photos with us. I like the fact that you guys are working hard on builds, and I'm not the only one. Really cool. And if anybody has questions about the build, about any of these builds, you know who to ask. He's in the house. I like gold too. I just built one. I just built the one of my Strats in gold, with gold hardware, kind of an SRV style. Rico says, you need a Strat to match your Telecaster. I have one. Don't worry, Rico. I have it covered. It's not here, but it's a relict Strat with same color type body, same color type pickguard. Kind of matches this. It's kind of the Strat brother to my Telecaster. Yeah, I like gold too, man. Presley. I can show it to you. I think I have it here. Yeah, it's back there. Let me hold on. Let me just unplug this guitar and grab that guitar, and I'll show you. So this is one of this is my build. This is also a parts caster that I built. I had this body, which is a three-tone sunburst body. You can see here, beautiful body that I bought online, and it's wonderful. And I had all the parts that I needed for the build, so I said, well, why not? I had the gold hardware, the gold bridge, and put it together. You can see the gold hardware here as well. I, you know, tinted the neck a little bit and did the fretwork. And it's probably out of tune right now, but let me just plug it in. Probably out of tune, but what the hell. Actually, it's not. Let me see if I can get the volume here. I don't want to blast your eardrums, and I don't want to be too... Yeah, it's a little out of tune. A little out of tune. Let me just tune up here. It's been... I haven't played it recently, so... And I need to adjust the neck a little bit, the truss rod, because it's been instant gives me that SRV vibe whenever I play this guitar. But yeah, it came out pretty good. It's not actually 100% finished because I'm still working. I still tend to tweak after a little while, just make everything settle in after it's put together. Once the neck is settled in, like right now, I can see that the relief on the neck is a little bit. It needs a little bit more relief on the neck. That's why I hear a little bit of buzz on the low string. But it's a great guitar. I haven't even drilled the holes for the back cover yet. Didn't come with holes drilled in it. I don't know if I'm going to put a back cover on it. I might just leave it the way it is. Came out really nice. I love the three-tone. Just love this three-tone sunburst. The body's really nice. You can't see the details, unfortunately, that clearly, but trust me, it's a nice looking guitar. It came out really nice. And thankfully I had all the hardware. So it's hard. This is why you see it's hard for me to buy stuff off the shelf, because I know how to build my own, or at least put together my own. And I can dial it in the way I want, and it's like, you know, I would have to probably pay over $1,000 for a guitar like this off the shelf, you know, even if I would just get a Mexican version. So I like working on my own. I like putting my soul into the guitar. What's your go-to guitar when you play with the fellas? That's a very difficult question. It'll change every day. It's always a different guitar. This is why I have so many guitars, is because I love all of them. So I don't really have one go-to guitar. I have like guitars every day. I will feel different and grab a different guitar. Like I've been playing the heck out of my Edwards Gold Top. Just yesterday, I have it right here, and I was playing it, and love that guitar. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a Strat. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a Telecaster. It really depends. It's never the same. I mean, if you want the spank, you need the Strat. Like if you're playing stuff like that, you want a Strat, you know. If you're playing in the heavier stuff, a humbucker comes in handy. Sometimes you want the versatility of a Telecaster because you can kind of do both. It really depends. There's no one guitar, unfortunately. I know it's kind of the ambiguous answer, but it's the truth. Yeah, no back cover yet. Have you done a Wormouth build? No, I haven't. I came this close to buying stuff off Wormouth, but after I tallied up the cost in US dollars plus the shipping plus the duties, it was really expensive. I mean, the Wormouth stuff is great, especially if you want to build something specific, because you can basically get everything you want from them, and you know it's all gonna fit. But it was just gonna be super expensive. And unfortunately, when you're building a parts caster, you're not gonna be able to sell the guitar, you know, for what an off-the-shelf, let's say Strat, would be worth, because it still is a parts caster, even though it could play better than one, sound better than one. Doesn't really matter. People are not willing to spend that kind of money for a parts caster. They want the real Fender. So if I would put together a Wormouth build like that, uh, unless it would be a keeper forever, you know, I probably would have trouble selling it. I would probably have to part it out again. Too much hassle. So you know, I keep my eyes open on various online stores where I can get some parts for good prices. If I see a really nice body, I grab it, you know, and then I just keep it, and then eventually I build a guitar out of it. You know, I would really love to have another Telecaster, maybe like a red one with cream binding on the front and back, or even a black one with the cream binding. That would be really cool. I have a couple of ideas. Yeah, so if you can build your own guitar and you have something specific in mind, something custom, yeah, talk to Presley California Customs. They'll put it together for you. Randy says I got a blue flower Telecaster and Strat from Japan, 1995. Are you talking about the Paisley one, Randy? Is that what you mean by blue flower? I remember that they had some cool Paisley Telecasters way back. Yeah, man, if you're in the area and you want to check out the stuff that Presley builds, just stop on by, man. Unfortunately, I'm too far. I'd love to go to California one day and maybe check out your shop there, check the Plek machine in action. I've always been curious to see how that works. Hey, answer this question for me if you don't mind, Presley. This one goes out to you. How long does it take to Plek a guitar? Like once you put it in the machine, how long does it take? How long is the process? Yeah, Landon, absolutely, dude. It is addictive. Building your own guitar, once you see how easy it is, I mean, you're not building it from scratch. So when I say building a guitar, I mean putting it together, because I don't go to the trouble of buying the wood and carving the neck and, you know, slotting the neck frets and all that. That's way beyond what I'm willing to do. But if you're interested in a Telecaster, interested in a Stratocaster, those type of guitars, those style guitars, and you want to put one together, it's not that hard, guys, and it really is a great way to learn how to do guitar setup, and you really realize what makes guitar sound and play well. Jack says, I'm really in the mood for P90 guitar. I don't own one, but I want one. Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm really playing the heck out of my Edwards guitar. And I don't know if you, Jack, I don't know if you were here last week, but I did some work on my Harley Benton. I might as well show it to you. I don't know if you were here or not, but I'm kind of proud of it. I got a Harley Benton guitar. It was kind of the junior style guitars. Whoops, I just dropped the wireless system, guys. So let's see if it still works. We're going to do our own drop test. I don't even know where it went. Give me a sec. All right, guys. So if you guys watched my channel, you maybe will recognize this guitar. This is the Harley Benton that I did a review of that was initially white. I didn't really like the white. Harley Benton has two colors for this guitar, white and sparkle silver, which I both found didn't look vintage to me or anything. So I ended up painting the guitar, and I painted this is called Infernal Red, which is basically red with some sparkle in it. And I think it turned out really, really well. Came out really nice. And P90 guitar sounds great to me. There's a couple of little tweaks I want to make with this guitar, specifically the nut. I want to change out the nut here. I did change out the tuners. They had those really like cheap looking toy P90, well not P90, junior style tuners, which I don't like. So I ended up changing them and putting out some real tuners. And yeah, it's all good. I like it now. It's probably out of tune. So give me a sec. All right, let me just see if the volume is okay. Maybe it's a little bit low here. Sweet sounding guitar. But it could kick if you wanted to. Oh yeah, the E string's out of tune. But just in a nutshell, you know, they can take a really basic guitar that they can sell for, I think this guitar retails for like under 300 bucks originally. This is still the original pickups. The bridge is not the same. I did a wraparound bridge, which is more of a PRS style bridge, and it's much better than the original one. So if they would make the changes I made on this guitar on their model and offer them in some nice vintage colors, I think they would sell like hotcakes, honestly. You know, minor changes would make the guitar really, really nice. And, you know, you can put this up to a guitar that's way, way more expensive, and it would hold its own guaranteed. You know what I mean? So this is why I like modifying my guitars. I mean, painting guitars, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's not always, you know, not always easy, but you get a guitar and you build it the way you want it. You start with a decent foundation. Overall, this guitar was a decent foundation. It had everything that I needed. I actually also copper shielded the cavity because they didn't do that. So I took the opportunity to do that as well. So copper shielded, changed the bridge, changed the tuners, we'll change the nut. Hardware is pretty much what was in there originally. Not a really big expense overall. You know what I mean? You'll put in, like, the bridge wasn't that expensive, neither were the tuners. And the shielding, I already had the copper tape. The paint, obviously, the time involved, but you can basically turn a so-so guitar into a really nice guitar that you'll enjoy playing. So I highly recommend doing it. I have a couple of ideas on some other guitars that I have lying around that I'm going to be working on and doing some custom work on as well. It's just fun, you know. All right, Scar My Guitars here. Hey, nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. If you guys don't know Scar My Guitar, he's got a channel as well. You might want to check him out. Big thumbs up to him. So Presley says in the machine for about 40 minutes for the fret cutting, another 15 if you're making the nut, 1 hour to plane a fretboard before refret, but the basic fret cutting is 45, then 30 minutes hard polish. So let me get this straight, Presley. So what you're saying is you would sometimes have to take the frets off, because you're saying here if you're doing if you have to plane the fretboard before a refret. So you don't always need to do that, right? Normally it's just a plec, but you can go as far as refretting, replaning the neck, and the machine will do that too. So that would be great, I guess, if you have a warped neck. If you have a guitar with a warped neck, would you be able to plane a guitar fretboard, for example, if it's like a Les Paul style fretboard with inlays? Are you able to do that even if there's inlays on the neck? Because, you know, if you have a set neck and it's warped, there's not much you can do. You have to kind of you have to plane the neck and then do a refret. So people that have maybe vintage guitars that are kind of warping, that's an interesting thing. I didn't know you were able to do that. Sir Force says, Tony, when you buy a Tele or a Strat that is not shielded, do you always put shielding in? And if yes, does it make a big difference? Well, I try to shield the guitars as much as I can. Usually there's at least shielding paint, but in this guitar they didn't even have shielding paint. So I decided to shield the guitar, specifically this one, because it has P90s. And P90s tend to you know, they're not humbucking, right? They're like single coils. So they're going to be noisy. So I shield them. It helps a little bit, definitely. It's not going to get rid of all of the hum. But if you're really, really bothered by the hum, I always say just get a noise gate. And then you're in business. But yeah, I typically try to shield them eventually. And Casey Lee says, my P90 guitars, Epiphone 56 reissue gold top, NESP LTD X-Tone PS1000, Fat Cat 50s, totally different vibes. I agree. It is a different vibe. This guitar, as opposed to the Edwards gold top that I have that also has P90s, feels completely different because the neck on these guitars are not the same. This one does have a set neck and all that, which is cool, but it's a really fun guitar to play. Gene says Beck's Gears has a DIY kit with aluminum body and carbon fiber neck. Interesting, and it's on Amazon. How much does it retail for? I've never worked on an aluminum, a guitar with an aluminum body or carbon fiber neck. Interesting. That might be a cool build just for the heck. Just to have something different. Paul Lee wants to know which wireless system I'm using. I'm using the CFG wireless system, which is called, CFG stands for Cable Free Guitar. I did a review on their zero gravity strap recently, and I thought I'd check out the wireless system as well because it's not an expensive system, and I kind of like wireless systems that kind of alleviate all the spaghetti cables, especially here. You guys can't see like what's around me, but it's pretty messy. There's a lot of cables and stuff. Thanks, Jack. Jack says, yeah, I seen that video. I love the guitar. Thank you. Cool. I'm glad somebody's watching my videos. All right. Jack, Dan says, Jack Collins, the Riverend dirt bike series is very affordable at around 1K. Epiphone has the TV special as well that is priced at about $500. Very compatible to the Gibson version. Fat neck for big hands. Very cool. Stupid question. Never stupid questions, Eddie. Is it possible to bet Harley Benton shipped to the USA? Yes, Harley Benton does ship to the USA. They do. I know that shipping is rather slow. A lot of people placed orders and are still waiting. Sometimes it takes a long time to get the stuff, but yeah, they do ship. They ship to Canada as well. Let me scroll back down, guys. Let me scroll back down. I don't know why, but there's always one guy, and I don't usually bother commenting on this. There's one guy always gives me a thumb down during the video. I don't think he realizes that it doesn't make a difference. As long as you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, YouTube basically feels that there's participation on the video. So I don't know why people would waste their time doing that. It is what it is. Eddie Jr. says 4 guitars in a box. That would be a huge box for 20 bucks a guitar. Yeah, sometimes they do ship. Harley Benton does ship more than one item in a box. So if you order 2 guitars, they can sometimes squeeze 2 guitars in a box, or 2 guitars and some other products. Alexander says, taking a break on guitar, just bought a Tesla. Yeah, man. Well, you're lucky you got one, Alexander, because you got a 2-year waiting time on those guitars. Here's the rub for me. It's just that they're making the prices go up because there's too much demand, so they want to slow down demand. So they're charging more for the cars. The wait time is ridiculous. And because they're charging more, you're also, I think, not eligible for the full amount of the incentives that the government gives you back. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a scam for me. The Tesla makes some really nice looking cars, no doubt. And I'm sure you'll be super happy with it. It's just I'm not really happy with some of the way they're going about some of this stuff. Anyways, soon so many companies are coming out with electric cars that we'll have plenty of choice. Let me just scroll down. Alexander says, thumbs down to the guy who gave you a thumbs down. Don't worry about it. Like I say, I mean, I don't know why people waste energy on stuff like that. It doesn't really make a difference in my life. All right. Played an older Heritage semi-hollow at a local shop here in Sacramento the other day. It was fantastic. They're asking 4K. Ay, Chihuahua. 4K is a lot of money for a guitar. I mean, look, Gibson's charging 4K for a lot of their hollow body guitars, semi-hollow body guitars as well. So I guess they're trying to compete with those. Cooltoon says, I may try to order a Harley Benton from my Canadian address. If anyone knows the shipping details and service, let me know. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to go on their website, just order something, put in your shipping information. I think it's just a question of you're probably going to have to pay something in duty because it is coming from Europe. And I can't tell you how long it's going to take at this point. I don't really know. Oh, so Alexander, you bought it before the price hike. Good for you, man. The wait time is 6 months now. Better than the wait time of a King of Tone, 4 years. Yeah, 4 years is a long time for a pedal. Not interested. Hey, Casey. So Casey says, been hanging with all you guys. Love the live chat. Heading off to Father's Day barbecue with my kids and grandkids. Catch you next week. All right, man. Take it easy, Casey. Enjoy the barbecue. Have a little extra for me. Rico says, Tony, did you see my discount code I found? Look at my previous comments. Sorry, Rico, I didn't see it. Do you mind just reposting it at the bottom here so I don't have to scroll 4,000 comments just to find it? Alexander says, I waited 4 years for a King of Tone, will never sell. You know, they're great. I'm sure they're great pedals and all of that. But 4 years is a long time, man. 4 years. A lot of things can happen in 4 years. It's a little ridiculous. All right. Very cool, guys. Hey, guys, listen. We've been talking for over an hour. I know you guys are dying to spend time with your dads out there and have a great Father's Day celebration. I'm just waiting for, I just want to wait for Rico to repost the discount code he was talking about. If he can. And yeah, and if there's any last questions, let's ask them now. Guys, you know, go ahead, ask your questions. If there's anything last minute you want to know, you want to share, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we're going to call it a day. The only other thing I wanted to mention is if you guys, did you guys see the, what is it? Def Leppard is back together, and they've released another song or another album. I saw the video of one of the songs they were playing on one of the talk shows. They were just playing the song. It's cool. It sounds like Def Leppard, but it sounds like they're dialing it in right now instead of actually feeling it. I don't see the hunger, you know. I don't feel they're hungry for it now. So I'm not a huge Def Leppard fan. I do like some of their songs, but yeah, you could tell when they're not really like into it, you know. Okay, Rico says sawtooth guitar / drums, etc. I'm gonna take a look, Rico. I'll take a look. Thank you for that. All right, guys. So listen. Jeff says, last question. Can you stay on for another 2 hours? Jeff, there's nothing I'd love to do more. But unless I want a rolling pin in the head, my wife's waiting for me. And I think she wants to have Father's Day also. So I'm going to have to say no to that. But don't worry, there's going to be more. We always have more stuff to talk about, guys. And I really appreciate all you guys tuning in, by the way. Because definitely, you know, Father's Day, I understand time's short. And once we get rolling, we can definitely talk for hours. But definitely, I appreciate all you guys tuning in today. And the Nice says, picked up an Apple phone Casino Coupe hollow body, dog gear pickups, mint shape, and hard shell case. That's awesome. I missed your post again, Rico. Wait a minute. Let me just go back. Let me go back. I don't want to piss off Rico. Rico says the new album is pretty good. Actually, mellow overall. Yeah, there's a couple of bands that tend to do the same. They always have the same vibe, like AC/DC's latest album, Fat Philosopher mentioned. Yeah, they always they stick pretty close to the formula. They don't want to deviate too much because it works, and that's what people want, right? All right, guys. So I guess that's it for today. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I appreciate the comments, the questions, the love, the community, the just the eagerness to talk about gear. And hopefully you guys can give me a thumbs up on the video so we can get even more people in here and continue the trend and continue the momentum. And if you guys have the opportunity to watch some of the videos that I put out this week, please do. One of the videos was on the zero gravity strap. The other video I put out this week was the Flamma mini delay pedal, and there's going to be more stuff coming as well. I have some other great guitars to review for you guys as well, so stay tuned for those. Have a great Father's Day if you're a dad. If not, go give your dad a big hug right now. Tell him you love him. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. We'll be back here on Addicted to Gear Live next Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So definitely set your clocks, set your reminders, do what you need to do, but make sure you're here on Sunday, all right? Have a great day. Peace, love, and be good. We'll talk again soon. I promise. Take care, guys.